everyone, and welcome to Animation 401, episode 2. We've made it to episode 2. I hope everybody's been having a lovely day so far and that you're ready to learn some more, well, semi-learn, more like practice our animation in fun ways. Also, I was watching the stream that just happened before this one. It seemed very inspiring. That was really awesome. Apriva, Alejandro, Jack, Devlin, always lovely to see you lot. I hope you're doing well. I thought we'd focus on something else while having 3 new mini games as always. And as always, I need your help with deciding what to do. So give me a color and a shape and we'll see if we can make it interesting for at least 2 of these animations. But first, let's see what we're focusing on. This time, we're going to be focusing on favoring with a U, because I'm British, innit? So favoring is another in-betweening method. This technique not only affects the spacing, but the drawing too. We'll be favoring a pose by specifying whether it's closer to the previous pose or the next pose. So far, we've been doing the halving method, which is where you have your first frame, the next frame, and then you just kind of slot it halfway in between and you keep halving it. But with the favoring, we're going to be selecting either the previous or the next keyframe, which is going to give us a slight ease in and ease out, which will also give us a little bit more of a smooth animation while kind of doing less work. It's pretty cool. Wait, what did you know? Apriva, what did you know? I'm curious. But yes, shapes and colors, please. And for our mini games, we have another 3. We have the blinker, the blower, and the swatter. Not necessarily in that order, but this is your call to action to go ahead and grab the Photoshop file, which contains all of these animations inside of it. And while we wait for a little bit before we go ahead, Jack said these examples are so cute. Oh, thank you, Jack. Always hope that I can find a way to hopefully make it interesting for people to watch and all that jazz. Hopefully you find these ones cute. Maybe not the swatter, but everything else is kind of cute. Okie dokie. So let's take a look at number 1. The blinker. As you can see, Mr. Keyframe is all pupil, which means any light is too much light, hence why his eyes are closed when the sun comes up. But of course, on your own one, you can do this in any way you like. You can claim that that sun's a moon, or maybe the eyes are closed when the sun is away. Thank you, Jack. Devlin said a pyramid. Golden. No, squirrel. Hold on. What is a squirrel shape? What is a squirrel shape? Are we talking like a whole... I mean, I could. I don't think I've ever drawn a squirrel. I'm feeling like it's a peanut with legs. And hot pink. No. A fly shape in grey. Okay, I'm going to have to merge some of these. For the first one, I'm going to go with a triangle. Because it's still kind of like Mr. Keyframe a little bit. Cool. So when you open your file, you're going to notice that you've got a bunch of layers. You've got minigame 1. And if you turn on the, If you turn on the eyeball, you can see the other mini games that are hidden underneath it. But we're working on the top one. By having the other ones hidden, it should hopefully help your computer not be too overloaded. S is a squirrel shape. Oh, okay. I don't know. I was thinking of a peanut. Okay, well, we can do that. We can try. I don't see why not. I mean, the body's not going to be moving, so we could try. It's going to look a bit butchered, but you know, I'll do my best. Once you open your file, make sure you've got your timeline open. If you don't have it, it's in window, click timeline. You can also go to grab your toolbar. Pardon me. The description of the YouTube stream should have your files there for you, although I'm sure Jack will pop them down shortly. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Oliver. I think maybe we were spared from whatever horrors Oliver was going to give us, but I might need something. All right, so we've got our video group. We've got the background layer, which I have split into certain ways, just in case when you're rendering it through, maybe it's too much. Maybe you don't need to see all of this all together. It would be great. Let's make this prepared for us to animate while also differing between halving and the favoring. Oliver, Joshua, I hope you two are doing well. If you saw the last stream, it was really inspiring. You're not seeing the link? Hold on. I got you, Jack. Thank you for saying this. Let me grab that. I'm really glad I said something. Here you go. The link is here. The link is here. Ta-da! Hi, Silver! I've been summoned by the pixie power. Can we like trademark that? Cool. I want to make sure that this is focused now. So I'm going to select everything that's over here. Going to click the 3 lines at the bottom, go to show and select set favorite clips only. That way we're not seeing everything else and we're only seeing what we want to see. If we press the space bar, we can see our work. Oh, thank you, Jack. Robert. Oliver, look, you know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about. But I might need some more colors. And just in case I can't do the squirrel shape, give me help because I feel like it's going to look like a Play-Doh experiment. So now, after a couple of times, it's had its chance to render. Of course you're working. Of course you are. You always are. We want to make a new video group underneath so we can apply our stuff to it. If you like, this is also a good chance for you to make a video group for, do you remember we used the ball example so we could practice where our animation was supposed to be? You could totally do that, but we're going to make a guide first. So while I'm on my group, I'm going to select the V button to make a new video group. And I want to make sure it's inside this one. Technically, we could have clicked it here. That's also fine. And let's pull this up a little bit, make sure that we can see it. I surely have no idea. Of course. Of course you don't. Oblivious, huh? If the new group doesn't appear, we're just going to select it all and do set favorite again. I do want a new layer in here, so I'm going to click new layer and it's plopped it right in there, but it's huge. And it's put it on the wrong marker, which is fine. That's totally fine and legit. Let's pull it out a little bit. There we go. If your video group is in the next video group, it's going to stick them side by side. So make sure they're not actually inside each other. There we go. Welcome, Uma. Uma, give me another shape, please. And another, well, no, the colors are fine. I'm worried that I might not be able to do the squirrel that Devlin might want. Okay, I'm going to call this one a guide. And then we can talk, it doesn't really matter about naming these layers. We're mainly going to be using colors, if anything. So we'll make ourselves a little time chart. Let's say this is the start, this is the end. If you want, if there's like a specific thing you're doing, like an eyeball might be curved, which it should be, you could totally curve your guide, but I'm not going to for this example. Let's say this is our first frame, this is our last frame. And if we were working on the halving method, we would do it halfway through. And if we wanted to maybe ease out, we would do halfway through again, then we do halfway through again and all of that jazz. This one, I think we could do 4 down and 3 up. So this is 1, 2, 3. Let's do another half, which would be here. So that's a typical look of the halving method. I suggest you try this on your one as well. See what the differences are. That's a shape, an octopus. Yep, and you see, Oliver is back. Well, how about an egg? Ah, an egg. Well, somebody said we are doing a triangle. 2 people said triangle. We're doing a triangle for the first one. Maybe we can have like an egg squirrel. I mean, it is a shape, Oliver, but... Hi, Kira. Thank you for popping in. It's always lovely to see the Pixie Posse walking around. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for helping me with my coding the other day. This one is favoring. Now, we know if we were to half it, it goes in the middle. But this time, when we're favoring, we know where the middle is, but then we move it a little bit. And I'm favoring the end. Otherwise, I'd be favoring the top. Now, I want to favor the end again. So I'm going to find where the halfway mark is, move it down just a little bit more, and make my new line. Oh, thank you. Egg dog. Well, hold on a second. Jack, don't let Oliver, like, taint you like this. Egg dog must be an old meme. I've never... Do you mean cat dog? I've never heard of egg dog. What's this? Fill me in. Okay, so now we've got our guide. If we really wanted to, although this is only on the way down, if I wanted to do it on the way back up, let's say I want to favor easing out when the eyes open. I'm going to make it black so we can see the difference. I'm going to count this as 1. Halfway to that one is here, but we want to move it up. Halfway to this one is here, but we want to move it up. So we can use this as a quick guide. Otherwise, it's just useful. That way you shouldn't need to worry too much with your things. Cool. So we've got our guide. We can lower the opacity here if we'd like. We're going to make another video group. And this is where our actual animation is going to be. We set a triangle. So we can do a triangle body. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to be cute. We'll make a new layer. We'll click near the end and slice it in half. Oh, at least Uma... Okay, at least I'm not the only one who doesn't know about this egg dog. Please fill us in. Can't just leave us hanging there, Jack. Okay, so we've got the body. Here's a... You know what? I was going to do it like that. That's a diamond. Okay. Here's the... I kind of want to use my sketchy thingy, you know. No, leave it, leave it. Okay, triangle. There. We've got a triangle. That's a triangle body. The body's not going anywhere, so let's make another video group. The only reason why we're making so many groups is because if you were to export this and you needed to have the body and the eyes and the hair and the blah, blah, blah on different layers, you'd be able to compose them separately and change the colors or add different effects without having to worry. My message? Wait, where is your message? Were you talking about egg dog? Oh, triangle? Yes, don't worry. I want help with the egg dog. Oh, it's an old YouTube video. Really? Some folks made a 3D model of a dog that had a haircut. So it looked like an egg-shaped dog. Oh, back in the day. Back in the day. Can you imagine? For those of us that were here when YouTube started, and then those of us that were here when Google started. And I'm going to snip this too. Okay, so I've got a layer called eyes. We've got the triangle body. If I want to, I could lower this opacity as well, just in case it's going to be a little bit too distracting. And I'm going to set my key markers. I've made it one long frame so we can slice it and then just mess around with it there. So if we scroll through, I can see that I want the eye to be shut by this point. I'm going to draw the eyes fully first though. I like how they're all just going to kind of look like Mr. Keyframe. There we go. Oh, that eye's a bit wonky. There we go. Okay, I was here when the internet started. Yeah! I think I can only go back as intranet. I know about the intranet. I know I was here before Google, which is... Isn't that so fascinating? Okay, so we've got this one as a base. We know that the start frame and the end frame are supposed to be the same because it loops. Great. I want the eyes to be shut here. So I'm going to make sure my timeline's in the right space and we'll just snip it. And I'm going to move it over a little bit more. See when the eyes should open. Let's say the eyes open back up here. So now I've got my keyframe towards the end. I've got my keyframe at the front. And I need my main keyframe where the main different action is happening, which is here. I need the eye closed. Just to make sure that I can keep it in the same sort of space, I'm going to make sure I press my onion tool. There we go. So I can still see my past work. And we're going to claim that the eyes are down here. What I could do is actually rotate this to make it easier. Since you're on Photoshop or whatever program you're using, make your life easier. There we go. Oh, it's cute, isn't it? Oh. Cool. So we've got the eyes, it blinks, maybe save your work, just in case. We can take a quick look. Eyes open, eyes shut, eyes open. I feel like if I look at this, oops, if I look at this again, I kind of want to move this over a little bit. Something happened here. There we go. Let's take a quick look, just flash it between the two. Can I dig it? I think I can dig that. Great. So now we need to work with our first in-between. I need an in-between between this frame and this frame. So what we can do is just, well, we could duplicate it or press number 2, which means we're going to have a frame which is the size of 2. You could totally do this on 1s or 2s or 3s if you want to. I say play around. But I need to be able to see where it's going and where it's come from. If it makes it easier, don't forget you can color these as well. can totally help with seeing. And if you need to, hide the background, whatever makes your task easier. So if we're going with the halving method, we would do half of this, which would be there. However, since we're doing the favoring method, we find where half is, we move a bit down from there, and then we do the art. So it's not only about changing the space of the spacing itself, but it's also the picture that you're seeing. If you really wanted to, I guess you could do half of all of it and then just take out different bits to end up where the favoring one would be. But I think the more you do it, the easier it will become. So now, and I want 4 down, we've got 1, 2, 3. I want the difference between this frame and this frame now. So we're going to hit 2 one more time. Let's make sure this gets pulled in. Pull up our onion skin once more. Flip it to the side maybe. And we know halfway is here, so it can't be there. It's got to be slightly away from the halfway point, but closer to this one. So it's not fully down there yet, but close enough. And then we can press play to see what it looks like. Oh, should it be a red triangle? I didn't know there was an emoji of a red triangle. Oops. Okay. Is there also, does anyone know like a quick way to rotate it back? Like I know in Adobe Animate, you can like click a button and then it flips itself back. I don't know. Can we do that in Photoshop? I've not found that yet. Oops. Let me take off the coloring on this. Otherwise it's just going to be flashing like we're in a disco. And if we press play, after it completes its render, because we're on 24 frames a second, even though we've only done 4 frames, the eye going down looks really smooth, doesn't it? Super cool. Now we need to do the same on the way back up. Although do bear in mind, if you want to have different things snap, because it's kind of comedic, you can do. That's the freedom of you doing it. Wait, I could have done an upside down. No shortcut, I remember, but in view you can. Oh, is it? So then maybe that'll be a, you know when you make your own shortcuts and stuff? I feel like it might be that. Okay, so I know that I need, I feel like we're getting the gist of this. I need a halfway point between this one and this one. If I wanted to have the eyes like slowly come up, you know, like when people are fluttering their eyes in the cartoons, trying to like do the come hither look with the eyelashes, we could make it do the favoring before it starts and then the favoring out. So it kind of does a slow in and slow out all the time. But I think for this one, I want it to be slow when it gets to its destination. So that means if this is the start, this is the end, halfway would be here, which means we don't want it. We want the favoring, which is the favoring, which is halfway's there, about here. And one more. But that also means we need to do the eye as well. If you're actually doing like a proper eyeball for your exercise test, don't fill in the eye to begin with. You want to do that on a separate layer, because if it's full, as you can already see, it's starting to get a pretty dark, kind of hard to see. Even if I change the colors, it'll be kind of full on. If you have the outline, when you're using the onion skin, it's much easier to see where you are. Okay. Hi, Dakota. Oh, you haven't been to this live yet, but it looks awesome. Oh, thank you, Dakota. I'm giving some... Oh, you know what I've done? Hold on. My opacity is on 30. I accidentally clicked the wrong button. I knew there was something wrong. I was like, why is it looking like this? So Dakota, this is Animation 401, episode 2, where I'm just giving you more fun animation tasks. Sometimes we do have different things that we can do to practice our animation, but I'm a gamer. I love keeping it fun. So by having an exercise of some sort, I feel like, you know, don't need it, but why not? A mini challenge. Oh, thank you, Kira. If you'd like to practice your animation skills, there are files for this class, which has been added to the chat. I think it might be slightly above, and it's also in the description now, I think. Okay, so we've only done one. Hold on, we got 1, 2, 3. We could probably do one more. So now I need to have a bridge, an in-between between this one and this one. So let's hit the 2, make this come in a little bit. Ooh, very fun. Oh, yes. The more fun we can make it, the better. And each time we have an episode, I'm going to make it harder. In fact, episode 3, which is in April, is going to be about secondary animation. Ooh, the files have already been made. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to color these ones just to make it a little bit easier for me to see where I'm going, where I came from. Okay. Move this over a little bit. And we know half is halfway, which we don't want. We want to favor it. So it's got to be closer to wherever we're going. Keys. Keys said in episode 3, pixipui will go over having the high ground. Wait! Wait a second. Hello, Keys. It's like my character having come to life. I hope you're doing well, Keys. We saw the example of your brethren, Mr. Keyframe, blinking away at the light of the sun. Let's turn this off here. Kira said I was about to start using my stylus to write. Is it one of those days? It's just one of them days. Okay, now let's take a look. Bearing in mind that we've only used 4 different images for the eyes to close, and we've used 3 different images for the eyes to open. Looks like I can make this a little bit chunkier though. Hold up. Sometimes by flicking back and forward, I think I've set mine to F6, is it? F5, is it? Yep. F5 and F2. Cool. Ah, there we go. Being able to flick between it can sometimes be a little bit of a greater help than having the onion skin. Play around and find out what works best for you. Okay, let's take a look. So now, after we let it render, I'm working and lurking. Happy lurk! Thank you very much, Keys. You too, Joshua. Ah, okay. Let me turn off the opacity. Oh, let's make it red. I saw what you lot put down there. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, it's burning. Let's hide the guide. Now we've got red triangle. I feel like we're doing one of those kid shows. So now, with very, very few keyframes, we've been able to make quite a smooth animation. Hello, Miss Hart. How did you get the colors on the layer panel under the disability icon? Toggle like this? Wait, what do you mean? Wait, Miss Hart, say that one more time. Oh, do you mean here on the timeline? Do you mean on the timeline or on the layers panel? I can help. I can help with that. But yeah, smooth animation, and all it was using the favoring. So this way we can kind of do less work while still giving a really impactful animation. Yeah. Kira said I'm working interchangeably. So yeah, it'd be worse if I was working in 3D or coding. Oh no, Kira. If you're talking about the layers, let's just do both. If you're talking about the layers on the right-hand side, if you right-click anything, it could be the video group or the layer itself. At the bottom, you've got your color, the visibility. On the layers panel, under the visibility and the okay. So, oh, you mean over here? Okay, I'm with you. Once I made a group, I think normally, let's just test this. When you layer or when you color something, it normally turns, I think, the whole thing yellow now. It might be in the latest update of Photoshop. But if you have a group and you just color the group, because it kind of works with whatever the parents got, everything inside it's going to have the same color. So I had put all of these inside a group. I colored the main group, the pink under the eye. Oh yeah. Once you color the main group, let me turn it off. So now there's no color underneath the layer at all. But if I right click, go back and click anything or any color, it will highlight all of the color on the eyeball side. So that way you can see it at a glance. I hope that answers your question. And if you wanted to color these, as long as you color the stuff in the layers, it normally updates this. But as long as you've got this is a free extension that we're using. She's looking for it. Not that one. Underneath plugin, we're using the frame bar. If you look for Adobe Exchange frame bar, that's the free plugin we're using that allows us to kind of color our layers on the fly. So for instance, if I click red, it's going to change the eyes to red, but the body is red, so maybe not. We can change it to blue, change it to green, take it off. I think you can. I think those are just the colors that the timeline is restricted to. Ah, it does. Yay! Awesome. Oh, thank you, Kira. I'm trying. I hope so. But that means that we're done with number one. My cup's in the way of my stream deck. Okay, there we go. That means we're done with number one. On to number two. Swatter. Now, I might not condone what the animation is showing. However, I feel like it might be fun for an animation. Thank you, Jack. So, okay, this is where the other shapes come in. This is where the other shapes come in. That's not the right one. There we go. The other shapes come in here. Now, what was it a squirrel? How are we going to incorporate this? How are we going to incorporate this? Hold on. We got an octopus, an egg. Okay, I'm thinking maybe if we're hardcore, we could make the swatter be the shape of a squirrel or the shape of an egg. I feel like the egg might be easier. And then maybe for like the effects that sprinkle off when the swatter hits the wall, invisible wall, we can have like squirrels come out. That way everybody's happy. How about that? What colors did we have as well? Trying to find it. Hot pink. We've got golden, hot pink, and gray. Golden, hot pink, and gray. Splat! I know. Okay. Right, I'm here. I'm here. If you're swapping over and you're not sure how to make sure the right stuff is showing, click the right group. Select the 3 lines. We'll go to show. We can do all video clips so you can check where everything is. Pull that timeline bar in, otherwise it won't loop like it's supposed to. I've always made them to loop. It's always more fun that way. If we go to show, go to set favorite clips, and then press play, we can see that there's a fly and the fly disappears on cue. The cue is our predetermined timing. Try to make it a little bit easy for you lot. Okay, so let's select everything and make sure that we can see all of these. We go to show and set favorite clips. Okay, so we're going to have an egg shape. What color is the egg and what color is the handle and what color is the squirrel? Because I've got hot pink and golden, but like give me egg and golden or handle, you know, the handle of the swatter, handle and hot pink. It looks like it's, I don't know, like Alice in Wonderland's utensils or something. It's wild. Okay, so what I might do to help myself out, and this is also a good idea, other than doing the fumbling thing, thumbnailing is what they call it, I'm going to make a guide so I can tell where I'm supposed to put it. So let's make a new video layer. Make a new layer in the video layer. Make sure we split this off. A teal egg. Someone always comes up with teal. What is it with you lot and teal, by the way? Every time. A jade. I like how you still kind of stuck with like the green color. You didn't move that far from your original choice. I'm gonna call this the guide. Okay, a purple squirrel. Who was that? Oliver? You and this purple. Sienna orange? Hold on a second. Sienna orange. Right, so the squirrel's gone here. My guide is gonna tell me that this is where this is where the fly is. We could start from here. We shouldn't do the animation on a straight line. We should probably try to like, hold on. It seems like there's an arc there. So we could try to make it arc over. I'm making the guide straight. I did it. Oh, really? I wanted to move from it. And the way that you stuck with something that still kind of had similar coloring. So now I've got this here and we want to use the favoring. So if halfway is here, which we don't want to use, let's say we want to focus on easing out first. Halfway is here. Move the fly out of the way. Halfway is there. We're going to favor it here then. If halfway is here, we're going to favor it. Hold on. There then. And if halfway is here, this also kind of tells you how many drawings you need, but it can be a rough guide. Sometimes once you've done your drawing or you play it out, it doesn't feel right. Then you can tweak it on the fly. So if halfway's here, maybe we start here. Cool. So now we've got an ease in. Whew. We don't really need the middle part. We can kind of get away with it. Although if we need it, we'll just add one in. And if halfway is here, but we're not going to use it, we want to favor on the other side. Be about here. This is halfway, so let's put it here. This is halfway, so let's put it here. So this is going to... We haven't really worked out how it's going back, but technically we could just use the same spacing and the same positioning for it to go forward and back. So we're not really changing it like we did with the eye blink. Cool, cool, cool. So time to make our egg-shaped swatter that is sienna jade with purple squirrels that appear when we smack it like it's Fortnite. Okay, great. So let me make a new video group. Call this the swatter. New layer. Snip this bit off. Icing. Oh, timing. Absolutely. It's all about the timing. Now I've tried to help by pretty much normally when I animate things for you lot to do stuff on top of, there's already a timing there to help you know when to do something, but you can always kind of dance around it a little bit. But our timing is completely cornered around this fly. So to start, even though this is my whole long line, I think let's first turn down the guide. It's a little bit too strong. Got my swatter here. Let's change the color. And what I might do, I might actually do the ball first. I know we did this before, but when you get a bigger task, sometimes making it a little bit easier by making a little thumbnail to do the motion first is useful, because then you know that the animation works. And as soon as you put something on top of it, you know that's going to work. So let me do a ball quickly, because I'm not too sure. And there's a lot to draw with a swatter. It's got the handle and then it's got the egg. I'm gonna do this here. We're kind of gonna mark it along the same line. So we've got the start and we know the end is here. So let's give it a little chop. Let's erase this. This button with like the faded out, looking like a whole Marvel situation, that is the erase tool. So that way you don't need to do Control A and erase it out. It's all good. And it ends here. There we go. Let's change the size of this. You can absolutely click and drag. Sometimes it's not going to do it in the predictive way that you're thinking of. So I'm just going to drag the other one out because it's moving on its own. Cool. And eventually it clearly goes back to the beginning. Maybe here, let's say. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to give this a different color. We're going to duplicate it. The duplicate one looks like ping pong. I can't wait to see how this turns out. It's the egg for me. I don't know what's going to happen. Why is it an egg? Okay, let's take off the color here. Check that the bits work, or that the initial key frames are in the right spot. So we've got the start. Boom, boom. Okay, I feel like maybe it should have a little bit more time to come back. Another check. It's there. Boom, boom. there. So let's say we can gear up. Maybe it's a fast movement, I'm thinking. So we could do this on ones. Oh, this might take a while. Let's say about here, we might do it. So let's split this here. I don't know why I'm drawing it again. I could totally just move the circle, but sometimes it's good to practice drawing circles. Speaking of, you know what? While I've been learning Korean, and it's messed up my English, which is hilarious, I've found, you know how they're like, oh, you know, you should practice reading and speaking and stuff, which I agree. All of my stuff is in Korean, actually. Even my computer right now. Apart from the Photoshop, because you lot wouldn't be able to read what it says, which would not be very helpful. But I've found that I like to find reasons to practice English now. It's like it's taken English back to the basics, and it's like, cool, let me talk to this person unnecessarily, which is wild in London, because you know we don't really talk. Keys said, so a few episodes ago, pixipui mentioned that these exercises are named in reference to something. Yes, this is true. All of their names are quite normally evident about what's happening, usually. What's happening in the thingamabobby. But then when you see the animation, I feel like you're like, oh, we're doing ones, aren't we? Let's make sure it's down to 1. That is not a 1. Put it on a 1. There we go. The reason why we're doing it on a 1 is because it's going to move quickly. Things that you can do, things that move quick on a 2, but yeah. If you want it a little bit smoother, a little bit faster, pop it on a 1. So we've got this. The next spot is going to be here. Next one is going to be here. Let's say it must zip. It's got quite a ways to go. So now I'm wondering, wait, Keys, what? Hi, Cece. I'm like, I have no idea what we're doing. Oh, Cece. Hello, Cece. Oh, hold on. I've got Miss Heart on the YouTubes. I've got Cece Heart in the Behance. That's so lovely. 2 hearts come together as one. Okay, we won't be so cheesy. Right, so what we're doing at the moment, Cece, in Animation 401, I have a series, normally 3, different animation exercises for you lot. We did one, which was the blinker. So we used a very few amount of keyframes to make quite a nice, smooth blinking animation. This time, we've got the swatter going on. Kapow! Not that I'm trying to tell you to swat flies. Please don't. Okay, so we're saying the next one's here. I'm only making this long to kind of give it the illusion of speed. Josie! Hello, Josie. All right. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, okay, hold on. I don't know where the end is, so let me just move this up a little bit. Okay, good. We haven't surpassed it. As long as we can see this. I don't know why this is open. Why are you open? You don't want to shut. It doesn't want to shut, and I can't see it, so we're just gonna have to work like this, I guess. Same heart. Oh, thank you. Thank you, heart. Yes. It's all happening on the Behance-isms. Okay. So we've got this here. At the moment, I'm working on, because I know doing the actual shape of the swatter was going to be kind of difficult because there's so many parts to it. So instead, I'm going to hide the fly actually. So instead of worrying about having to do that and work out its positioning, all I'm doing is animating a dot. And if the dot moves how I want it to, then I know that as long as I place my, oops, we don't need it that long. As long as I place my thing in a similar place, it'll be great. So, boop, boop. Okay, let's take a look and see how this looks. And if we don't like it, we'll go back and do it again. So it holds. Oh, wait, we still got, we still had the, oh my gosh. Okay, that's great. It zips over there. That looked pretty nice, actually. But it's kind of slow. So we might get rid of, we could get rid of some of these to make it move faster. Because even though it's on 1 frame, it's kind of slow. Or is it? There, it holds for a second. and I need it to quickly go back. So let's do a 1 again. Carbon copy heart. Wait, keys. Oh no, Cece. Oh, sorry, Cece. Oh yes, a fly swatter. Is that? Whoa, hold on. Wait, Miss Hart, you spelled color with a U. I feel like you and me might be Britishes. That's what we're going by. So I was like, well, we call it a swatter here, right? Is that right? Okay, so let me see where we came from. I know that I have to get back there quick, so maybe we'll have it go to this one. Do you not call it a swatter in America as well? I can have it. Let's see what happens if we kind of skip a whole rung, because I want it to go back really fast. Boom. Let's do 1 again. We could just skip a whole bit, claim that it's here. Whoa, hello? That was wild. Ah, fly swatter. Ah, Canadian. I dig. This goes well over the mark, but the first bit holds for a while. Let's see, because I'm not really sure if it's gonna be okay. Okay, that's great because it gets there so quickly. This takes so long. So hold on, let's get rid of one of these. Pull this out. Ooh, that's good. Okay, I call it swatter in here. Yeah. Okay, we're united on this front. Okay, we're liking the animation. Bum 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 bum. Let's check its timing with the fly. Bum bum. It should come back sooner, right? Pull this in. Now, because we've got all the timings correctly, all I'd have to do is just duplicate this, set a bunch of empty layers kind of to completely match the dots. Half of our job is done. I know the timing because we've worked it out. That's slow. I really want an impactful. Yeah, okay. We'll go with that. We can dig it. We should have like a hold though. I feel like what I'm gonna do is when it holds, I'm gonna have like a frame that kind of overshoots and then brings it back in. Okay, so let's say that we're actually happy with this. All is done. Let's open our swatter layer. We can hide the guide now. Can we? Well, we can make it a little bit smaller, maybe move it out of the way, just so it's not in the way too much. Back on our swatter bit, we've got our layer open. And I need an egg. Maybe we should make the ball a different color. It's kind of too late now. I don't want to go through and tap everything. Let's go with an egg shape. Or maybe we should do the stick first. No, never mind. Let's do the egg first. This timing is impressive. It would take me hours. No, CC. Honestly, this is why no hardcore pushing, but this is why these exercises are so fun, because they're small, they're short, and they give you a chance to practice using the ball technique in all of the stuff. We actually did a, hold on, egg. Oh, we'll accept it, right? Okay, egg is there. Egg is there. I wish I could lock that. Egg is there. We want to focus on the main keys, which are the start, this bit right here. But yeah, while you're practicing your animation, a lot of the times, this is going to be the resting point. We will have like, hold on, let's say, wait. So if it comes, I'm going to have to make that egg more sideways. It's kind of like that. So if it's like that, how can we make that as an egg? Okay, cool. It's like it got bent a little bit. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I forgot, yeah, we're using an egg. These these little challenges, I cry. Okay, so we got the hit. This could be more straight on, but you know, at least the egg doesn't break, I guess. So it stops here. Let's snip this. It sounds kind of funny using an egg to swat a fly. I mean, I feel like for you lot, since you won't have such a time constraint, you could make it like you're using a real egg that you're gonna throw it. Like mine's still on a stick because it's just a swatter in the shape of an egg. But if you use like a real imaginary egg, like you could throw it and then animate the egg breaking apart. That would be kind of cool, right? We don't have time to do that right now, but that would be cool. So, boop, bam. Gonna make sure that I can still see the ball. Good. Right, let's get rid of this because we need it to go back to the beginning. Duplicate. Make sure it's in the right place. Pull it back into place. Do this as fast as we can. So hopefully we can color it the funky colors. It says that we're going back to the 60s with the colors that you were giving me. Hot pink. Some sassy orange. Cool. Now we can change this up here. Technically, I'm just gonna split it, wipe it out, and then make sure we're selecting just one layer. Wipe it out and continue to split it. Or maybe I could just keep pressing 1. We could do that. Unless it moves it somewhere else. 1, 1, 1, 1. Although considering that you are using Photoshop, you could totally just use the move tool to shove it over. Wait, I see an 801. Wait, what do you mean? What animation 801? That would be so very cool, but I feel like I need to step my animation up if we ever get to that point. That would be so cool. Okay, so now I can see, ooh, we don't want to see too much. No, 2 is good. Press the 3. I'm gonna make this red so I know which one we're moving to. We don't care about that one that's so far away. We want to move it to this one. So it's just a little bit, whoops, it's just a little bit. Wow, you know what? I should probably put the smoothing on. I'm not using any smoothing. Okay, good. Because this one's favoring this one, I'm not really going too far. But about here, who is that one? F3. Let's just stick red on the major ones so we know where we're aiming for. Okay, so we've done this one. We're gonna have a bit of a smear here. So it looks like by this point, normally if you're moving something at speed, it kind of leans back. You know, like when you see a dog's ears when they're like sticking their head out. Eggs are evolving fast. Look. So if it's gonna lean back, I'm expecting it to kind of be like, woo! But maybe we should bend it a little bit so it kind of looks like it's rubbery. So like that. It's not in the right space at all. But let's move it over here, pretend like it is. Pretend like it is in the right space. Save, just in case, 'cause I'm seeing some weird stuff. And I want to imitate the smear. So I'm gonna do a smear technique of kind of creating an after image. Which is sort of shaped like the thing before. You know, like if you move your hands in front of your face really fast, it kind of leaves that kind of weird extra lines around it. That's kind of what we're doing. Either that or we could totally just do like one of those ones. I think I prefer doing the long shaped ones, but we'll see. We'll see what works. So we've got here. Now I'm going to need this one, which is still favored this one, but getting close to this one. Yes, motion blur, exactly. We're already here. but thank you. Yes, in America, your daylight savings has come back. Our daylight savings hasn't changed. So, technically, this is an hour early for me. I don't see my pen. There it is. So we're going to move it over. It's going to start looking like that. I've made my thing a little bit too short, I think. Turn this off for a second. Going to move it over a little bit more. I feel like we could tip it back a little bit. So it's still kind of favoring the other one. This one, just gonna pull it down a little bit, maybe? It's kind of gonna be on a straight line, to be honest. Or again, if there's a way to like lock these, let me know. Gosh, that's a fast egg, isn't it? We could probably make this a little bit wider as well, I'm thinking. Have I made it? The opacity is low again every time. Why does this keep happening? Every time. My opacity is always randomly really low. My ghosting tool is on F3, which is really close to the number 3, which is problematic. Ooh. Okay. Let's say we've got this. We've got that one. Let's see how quick we can do this. We're running out of time. Just make sure we only have one on. There we go. I don't want to see too much. So ultimately we need to end up there. This is almost there, but not quite. Whoops. So it's interesting because it's like you've got to think about where it's going. But you've also got to think about, okay, what would that look like if it's almost there, but not quite? Maybe it should be more dramatically back because it's about to whack that, but it's not quite there yet, but it's favoring the other side. So it's here. I want it to hit it hard and then relax. So I'm going to split it. Let's claim that if we were to hit it hard, oops, make sure we only select one item. Maybe it would be like bam, random squirrel, because I was told it was an S. It doesn't look like a squirrel at all. There we go. Squirrel. Imagine that's a squirrel, please. Thank you. And then it settles and then it works its way back. Wow. Yeah, these do have a tendency to get long. It's sliding back. Not fully yet. It's coming out of the rest. Scribble. That's gonna have to do, isn't it? Check where we're going, where we've come from. To make it a little bit easier for me to see where we need to go to. I know. The animation takes... it does take time. Some are definitely easier than others. Let's say we'll focus on this one, because that will help me work out what the halfway animation is supposed to be. Let's say it's going to be working its way back to swing back the other way, hit the one again. Should be around, whoops. It's a really wonky looking egg. I'm doing this to give us that motion blur. This one now is supposed to be closer to that. But like kind of getting out of it. This might be kind of tough though. I'm trying to blitz it. We didn't even get a chance to do the main part of it, you know? I'm so sorry. Okay. So we got the thing. Oh, that's so cool. As you can tell, I've absolutely been changing my opacity of my my brush the entire time. Every time. Okay. So if we add the stick on, we did a boom boom. We got a nice effect with the slap. That squirrel in the background. But I know your ones will look even better. So we're going to call it here, but you can see at least what number 3 looks like. Blower! Now, Miss Bezier has gone to a party, and it's down to you lot to decide how long the thing is. You know that party thingamabobby? The boo! It's that thing. But that one's down to you. So you have a lot of chance to play around with things, have fun, experiment, try different methods and all of that wonderful goodness. But practice, but have fun. Even if it doesn't look the way you wanted it to, have fun, which means we're on to the conclusion. Your homework is to do the homework and try different in-between methods. Maybe see what halving looks like compared to doing favoring. See if favoring is better for you, or see if halving is better for this particular bit. But regardless, have fun. Oh, Dakota, that's such a nice way to put it. Thank you for being here. Very cute exercises. Thank you. Oh, good night, Robert. Stay tuned. There's absolutely more wonderful goodness coming up on Adobe Live shortly. See you later. Bye. Thank you, Jack Alejandro. Thank you for coming, Keith. Hi, Kira.